start again. It's a redskin.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl BinkiBianca with some more blog talk. And today we're going to be talking about Ben Affleck and the comments that he made regarding his previous marriage to Jennifer Garner. So according to Hollywood Unlocked, Ben Affleck did an interview with the Howard Stern show where he discussed his drinking struggles while he was married to Garner. And they actually have 3 children together, ages 16, 12, and 9. And when he discussed how things might be had he remained married to her, this is what he said. "I'd probably still be drinking. It's part of why I started drinking, because I was trapped," he said. "I was like, I can't leave because of my kids, but I'm not happy. What do I do? What I did was drink a bottle of scotch and fall asleep on the couch, which turned out not to be the solution." Now, when I read this on Hollywood Unlocked, I didn't think much of it. I just thought, I kind of want to hear the rest of that interview. I mean, if you know anything about Howard Stern, his interviews are hours long usually. So there's certainly more context to this small snippet than what we're hearing here, right? So context for those that don't know what came before, what came after, but this is what Hollywood Unlocked posted. Now, when I went down to the comment section of Hollywood Unlocked, a lot of the women there had a very stark difference in the way that they reacted to what he said than what I had. So I pulled some of those comments because I wanted to share those and get your thoughts on them. So here's some of the comments. I've blocked the pictures and the names because whatever. If you want to see who said what, you can go to Hollywood Unlocked and check out the comments. So here's the comments. "That's messed up. Why drag her like that? So embarrassing. Men will blame all of their problems on a woman. Meanwhile, she ain't say nothing to the media about you cheating on her when you have 3 kids who are old enough to know what you did. She could have bashed him too, shaking my head. No accountability. Blaming someone else for your actions. Run, J-Lo. Again. Red flag, red flag. Wow, let's point fingers to others on our issues without blaming our personal insecurities and shortcomings. My mom always said, when you point one finger at someone, the 4 remaining point back to you. You are your own problem." All the relapses he had after they split, the audacity. The gag is he was an addict before her. Look at all of his stays in rehab. She was nowhere in his life. Men hate taking accountability. Ouch, that's rude. He should have kept that to himself. So now he wants to make her look bad? Lord, the lies and disrespect. These 2 have been divorced for years now. Where is this coming from? And wasn't he praising Jen for helping him with his recovery and being there for him? What's different now? Oh, J-Lo. And there's many more where those comments came from, and I just felt like that was really shocking to me because when I read that, he didn't say anything negative about his ex-wife as a person. Yes, he discussed being unhappy in the marriage, which was to her, but he didn't say that she was the cause of his unhappiness in the marriage. He didn't say she was a bad wife. He didn't say she was disrespectful. He didn't say she was irresponsible. He didn't say she was unattractive. He didn't say, anything about her. He didn't say she was a bad mother. What he said was he was unhappy in the marriage. Maybe compatibility changed. Who knows what changed? He didn't say, at least in that snippet. But he was unhappy. But he felt trapped because he had the responsibility of children. And he didn't feel like he could leave. So instead of coping with the feelings and just either leaving, seeking therapy, picking up hobbies, or, talking to her or whatever healthier options he could have had, he turned to drinking. What's wrong with him telling his experience? He's not saying what he did was right. He actually said that was the wrong thing to do, what he did. So I don't know why women are acting like he's blaming her, his ex-wife, for the unhappiness. It is possible for people to be in a relationship with one another and one or both of you be unhappy in the relationship, but it's not that the other person makes you unhappy. It's just that you've outgrown each other or whatever it is, and you're ready to move on from the relationship. Now, seeing this actually made me think about Willie Taylor, who he's from the R&B group Day 26. A couple of months ago, his wife had actually posted on social media that Willie had left her with 4 kids. So that's kind of a shocking thing. You see a headline like that he left her with 4 kids. That's a lot of kids. And of course, people were shaming him, etc., because they've had a rocky marriage and it's not been private, some of the things they've gone through. But a couple of days after her post, Willie made a post. And this is what he said. I have always felt in control of my mind until I lost my father/best friend. And without warning, I had to show up every day as my full self, the provider, the husband, and father. But mentally, I was just a shell that held a 30% version of myself, still trying to stand strong and deny the fact that mentally I'm a wreck. I began to become more emotional and angry. I was losing my own identity. I no longer knew what I was capable of saying or doing. Everybody won't understand the moves that you have to make for you, and some won't even know how to handle you in this trying season of your life. But please don't lose yourself. I understand more now than ever how important mental health is, and I'm praying for anybody going through it. Looking up to where all my blessings come. Love 100. And then he gave a credit to whoever I guess took the picture. So then his wife responded and she said, "You're weird as F to think anything you're doing is okay, and got a guy capturing your quote unquote break for a photo op. You a special kind of person." So then Willie responded to her and he said, "Can you stop being toxic long enough for me to put my best foot forward in saving us? I explained this to you before I left. You keep talking about my kids and they are rooting for me here. I talk to them 4 times a day until you took their phones from them to make this quote unquote mental break harder for me. You went to social media to put our business out, and I just needed your support. But keep being you. Love you anyway. My children are good and will forever be just that, good." Now, I know there's going to be women watching this that are going to say, but what about the moms? What about the wives? What about what we have to deal with? Our job isn't easy. We can't just take breaks. We have moments of anguish and heartache. No one is dismissing that at all. But when we're talking about men expressing unhappiness in a relationship, why can't we just listen to what they're saying without trying to have the oppression Olympics and outdo their pain and trump their pain with yours? It's not about who feels the worst and who has it harder. It's just, hey, this is how I'm feeling right now. And hopefully, it seems like Willie and his wife have gotten back on track. So maybe that little break did do some good for them. It was just probably a week or so that they were apart maybe. But I'm just hoping that we get better at listening to each other. There's something that I'm noticing going on between heterosexual men and heterosexual women where, we want each other. We want to be together. We want to be in love with each other. We want to, have families and relationships with each other, but we don't really understand each other and we don't really listen to each other is what I'm noticing a lot of. And hopefully we get better at that. I don't know if we will or not, but these 2 stories I just want to talk about them because it definitely surprised me how the women took Ben Affleck's statements and then how Willie expressing just the need to try to stop himself from having a mental break or to stop it while it was happening. For some reason, his wife took that personally, that he needed some some air, you know what I'm saying, while he was dealing with that. So let me know what y'all think about this. Do you think Ben Affleck was out of line for what he said? Do you think that, you know, I'm tripping? Is there another side that I should be looking at with that? And what about Willie Taylor? Is there ever a good reason for a man to take a couple days to himself from his family? Interested to see what y'all say. I'm not a relationship kind of person. I don't talk about that stuff. I do have a YouTube homie, AP. He has a YouTube channel called Player for Life. I will link it in the description below. He talks about this kind of stuff all the time, relationship dynamics, from a man's perspective, as well as, you know, when he speaks to women about whatever it is that they're going to. So he might even have something to say about this. So definitely check out his channel. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.